You know, some of the biggest stories, they start in the quietest places. So picture this. It's a Saturday afternoon in your typical local diner. You can smell the bacon and syrup in the air. And over in a corner booth, there's a father and his daughter, just sharing a meal. It's perfectly normal, perfectly peaceful. But today, we're going to dive into a story that uses a moment just like this to ask a really big question. What happens when that quiet life you've built gets slammed right into a past you thought you buried?
This right here, this is the hook. The man in that booth, he looks like any other dad, right? But he's hiding a secret identity. One so huge that a single word is about to make the entire room go dead silent. In this explainer, we're going to break down how this whole story unfolds and what it really tells us about what it means to be a hero.
So at the heart of all this is a guy named Darius Monroe. The story makes it really clear that he's a man who has intentionally swapped a life of insane, high-stakes action for something much, much quieter. Just spending his weekends with his 10-year-old daughter, Amaya. This is his entire world now.
And the difference between these two lives, it's night and day. On one side, you've got his life right now, a mechanic, a dad. It's simple, it's real, it's peaceful. But on the other side, you've got the ghost of his past, a Navy SEAL. A guy who went on missions that technically never even happened. He went from being silent and invisible on the battlefield to being 100% present for just one person. And that contrast, that's where all the tension is.
And of course, it's his daughter, Amaya, who, without even knowing it, pokes right at that hidden history. Kids just have a way of asking the biggest questions, don't they? And this one just kind of hangs in the air, a little hint of the world he chose to walk away from.
His answer? Man, it says everything. He admits it. Yeah, sometimes he misses it. He's not denying his past. But then, right away, he makes his priorities crystal clear. For Darius, peace isn't about medals or secret missions anymore. Nope, it's right here, in this booth, in these little moments.
But just as they're settling back into that peaceful moment, the bell on the diner door chimes. A group of uniformed Navy officers walks in, and immediately the whole vibe of the place just shifts. And for their leader, seeing Darius in that corner booth sparks something, a flicker of a memory he thought was long gone. And that's when things start to happen.
Okay, so this guy is Admiral Charles Whitaker. He's a man who's used to being in charge, to knowing exactly who's in the room with him. But when he looks at Darius, there's just something he can't put his finger on. It's this nagging feeling that he's looking at somebody important, somebody he should know.
So the Admiral, he walks over to the table. And the question seems innocent enough, just a couple of vets shooting the breeze. But it's this exact question: what was your call sign? That's the trigger. It's the moment that's about to pull the thread and unravel this whole quiet life Darius has built. You can just feel the air get thick.
And now we're here. This is the turning point of the whole story. Darius is about to answer the Admiral's question with just 2 words. But these 2 words, they carry so much weight, they're about to stop every single conversation in that diner.
Darius looks over at his daughter for a second, and then he says it quietly: Iron Ghost. And that name just hangs in the air. You can almost feel the background noise of the diner, the forks clinking, the quiet chatter just evaporate.
And boom, the effect is instant. The Admiral's friendly face just goes blank. He freezes. Because Iron Ghost isn't just a name, it's a legend, a whisper, a ghost story they tell new recruits to boost morale. And that myth is now sitting in a diner, pouring syrup on pancakes for his kid.
So the secret's out. The Admiral is trying to wrap his head around the fact that he's standing face to face with a military phantom. But for us to get it, we need to understand the stakes. Who was Iron Ghost, really? And why in the world did he just vanish?
The stories about Iron Ghost, they were the stuff of legend. This was the guy who could move through enemy territory without making a single sound. The guy who never, ever left anyone behind. He'd get the job done and then just disappear before the dust even settled. He was so good, so effective, that a lot of people, including the Admiral, were pretty sure he was just a story command made up.
And the Admiral's words say it all. He is in total shock. It really captures that moment of just awe and confusion when a myth you've heard about for years turns into the guy sitting right across from you.
But Darius, he just deflects all that awe. When the Admiral asks him why he disappeared, his answer is so simple. And as he says it, his eyes land right on Amaya. His most important mission wasn't on some foreign battlefield. It was right here, at this table.
This whole encounter just forces the story's real question right to the surface. What actually makes someone a hero? Is it the secret missions and the legendary reputation, or is it something else entirely?
This is such a powerful idea. For a man who has faced dangers we can't even imagine, he says his greatest act of bravery wasn't some mission he pulled off. It was choosing to leave that whole life behind.
And his reason why is just profound. He left so he could stay a person, not just a weapon. He didn't want to be a ghost in his own daughter's life. He was fighting to hold on to his own humanity for her.
And then, in the middle of this really heavy conversation, Amaya just cuts through all of it with the only opinion that really matters. To her, his hero status is absolutely nothing to do with call signs or old missions.
And with that, Darius just confirms everything. The approval of admirals, the recognition from his country, none of it means as much as being his daughter's hero. This was the only validation he was ever really looking for. So as the whole encounter wraps up and Darius and Amaya get up to leave, the story still isn't quite over. In fact, the most important lesson is still on its way.
Once they're safe in their truck, away from all the staring eyes in the diner, Amaya asks another one of those simple but huge questions. She's trying to figure it all out, trying to connect the legend she just heard about with the quiet dad she knows.
And his answer, this is the big takeaway from the whole story. He tells her that real heroes don't need to talk about it. They just keep doing what's right. It suggests that true heroism isn't about getting recognized or telling war stories. It's about quiet, consistent goodness. It's about humility.
And that leaves us with his final, really powerful thought. Darius's story shows us that the fight between your pride and your peace, between the person you used to be and the person you need to be now, well, that's often the hardest battle there is. And the ones who win